In this video, we're introducing the 3 best geishas of the season coming out of April. Welcome. My name is Patrick Rolfe and this is Coffee with April. For this episode, we are introducing the last limited box of 2021. And we have some truly amazing coffees selected for you. What we have done is that we've basically gone through and had a look at this season to try to figure out what have been the best tasting coffees. And we ended up with a selection of the 3 best geisha coffees that we here at April have tasted. So what we want to do here is to walk you through all of these coffees. Now we have previous videos on some of them, so we recommend going back and have a look at those as well. But in simpler terms, what we have here is 3 different origins, 3 different geishas and 3 different processing methods. So the first geisha comes from our partner farm Volcan Azul in Costa Rica and producer Alejo. As you guys know, we've been working with him for a long time now, and every season we feature a wide range of his different geisha coffees, which we have done this season as well. And for this box, we've selected a yellow honey anaerobic processed geisha. Very light in its structure, very floral, very citrusy, highlighting the peachy tones that all of his geisha coffees are very famous for. The second geisha coffee is a washed processed geisha lot from the El Socorro farm in Guatemala and producer Diego. Now, El Socorro is world renowned for their geisha coffees, is one of the few estates that still does a really good washed processed geishas, which really brings us back to how geisha used to taste. You know, the floral qualities, the jasmine, the citrus, the peach, the kind of taste qualities that we all fell in love with. And it's so hard to find today in a geisha because most of the geishas we are introduced to today are very funky, very alcoholic, and it's a lot of flavor notes that isn't showcasing the quality of the varietal so much, but it's a lot more focusing on the processing. Now, the third geisha, one of our absolute favorites, comes from Finca Debra. It's a natural processed geisha. They call this lot Afterglow. Producer Jameson, which arguably does some of the best geisha coffees in the world. I think we all know it by now. It's the coffees that are very often used in competitions, very often score very well, and we're excited to continue to work together with him. So what we want to do here now is basically just cup the coffees and describe a little bit what we're looking at taste-wise. Now, there's a few things that are interesting here also when it comes to roasting, because even though it's the same varietal, we have coffees coming from different producers, processed in different ways, and perhaps most importantly from different countries, which translates into different terroirs. So this means when it comes to roasting, we have to approach these coffees a little bit different. So when we're looking at, for example, Diego's wash process geisha, we're giving that coffee a lot more energy and we're taking it out a lot faster in terms of total roast time than what we, for example, would do with the yellow honey coffee coming out of Volcan Azul, which we find benefits from just giving a little bit more time and have a little bit more extended time after first crack. Now, when it comes to the Afterglow from Finca Debra, what we do there is we actually do a faster profile, but we're trying to take it out a bit lighter in terms of temperature. Also with a shorter time after first crack to really kind of increase the vibrancy and complexity in the cup because we have so much inherent sweetness in it. Now, what's interesting when you have 3 different coffees, they're roasted different ways. Obviously what we're doing here is a cupping, and the kind of go-to idea for most cuppings is to grind on the same grind size, which we've done here as well. But one of the things that we're looking into here at April is just basically importance of grind size and what grind size actually is in relationship to the coffees and how we then grind them. So these 3 coffees are grinded on the same grind setting, but we're still getting 3 quite different microns in terms of each bowl here, right? So 3 different coffees grind on the same grind setting is going to have 3 different microns. And this is important for professionals cupping coffee, understanding that if you're grinding your coffees the same when you're cupping them, you're not optimizing what's getting out of them. You're technically tasting them in very different extractions. And two, it's important for a home brewer to understand that most likely when you work with different coffees, you should not be defaulting to the same grind size all the time. Now, we're gonna walk you through just a standard cupping protocol here at April. We're dosing 10 grams of coffee, and we're pouring a total of 170 grams of water. So a 1:17 ratio, pretty straightforward. The water temperature sits at 96 degrees Celsius. And we're gonna do a classic 4-minute steep time. So what have we been tasting? More or less, if we just do a quick walkthrough on each single coffee, what you're going to expect here is 3 very different geisha coffees that all have different attributes that kind of showcases the variety that comes with this varietal. So cup number 1, Finca Deborah Afterglow, very strawberry, very jasmine-y. One of the sweeter coffees in the lineup, very well structured and very, very complex, just all the way through from hot to cold. It's really an outstanding coffee on this table. Second cup, Yellow Honey Anaerobic Processed Geisha. So interesting because it's a lot more sparkling, a little bit more acidic than the other cups. Has slightly lower sweetness, plenty of sweetness, but lower than the other ones. Very well balanced, highlighting here melon, peach, also a lot of florality. But what really makes this cup interesting is the kind of sparkling, almost champagne-y vibe that comes with the coffee, which is a part of how Alejo does this anaerobic processing. Last cup, the wash processed El Socorro Geisha, very floral, very jasmine-y, very peachy. Comes across as one of the more simpler cups on the table, and we say that with the best kind of intention, because it's really delicious. It just really showcases what comes out from a very well processed, washed cup of coffee, which I don't think by any means, right, in any situation, we should forget about these coffees, right? These coffees are extremely tasty, and most of the times we still prefer them over any other processing, right? It's just a shame that in the competition world we're moving away from these beautiful clean coffees because we have judges that are looking for something new, right? But quite often the older version of a geisha is way tastier than what the new versions have been, right? That being said, we truly have collected some of the best geisha coffees that we have had, that we worked with here at April for this season, and we're really excited to share it with you guys. This box will be available all through this month in limited amount as always. If you have any questions about it, just comment below. Maybe tell us what your favorite geisha is from this season. What do you think in the world of processing in geisha varietals? Do you prefer something washed, or do you prefer something with a little bit more processing structure to it? We're always looking forward to hear your thoughts on it. When you get the box, please comment as well and let us know what you think about the coffees. And with that, we want to thank you all for watching. We want to give a special thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. It's because of you that we are able to continue to make these videos. And we want you all to feel free to always come with suggestions and ideas on the content that you want to see, because we are doing this for you and because of you. Thank you from all of us here at April.